Today I am in the heart of London's Theatreland, and the reason why I'm here is to go to this place behind me, the Savoy Hotel, for afternoon tea. Now the Savoy Hotel is the most iconic hotel in the whole of London, and this afternoon tea has been served here consistently in the same restaurant for more than 135 years. Now interestingly, if you see this road behind me that the Savoy's on, do you notice anything different about it? Anything weird? Well, this is the only road in London where cars drive on the right-hand side of the road, not on the left-hand side. Now, this is a private road owned by the Savoy Hotel, and the reason why they drive on the right-hand side is because back in the days when we had horse-drawn carriages, when the Savoy Hotel opened, you got out on the right-hand side. So they wanted all of the carriages to go down on that side so that people could just get out and go straight into the hotel, not getting out on the roadside. So only road in London, but let's check out what the afternoon tea is like and whether or not it is worth the price. So here I am inside the Gallery restaurant, and this place is amazing. This is fantastic. And as I said at the start of today's video, afternoon tea has been served here consistently since 1889 when this hotel opened. So this is exactly like it was back in the 19th century. Amazing. And it is very, very high class. So the menu is like an embossed book, really nice. And there's three different options. Well, you can have vegan and vegetarian, but let's just talk about the actual afternoon tea options. So there's the standard afternoon tea, which is what I've ordered, which is going to be a selection of sandwiches and then the scones and then some cakes. There is high tea, where you actually get a meal as well. So they're doing duck breast today. So you actually have a main course meal as well as the afternoon tea. Absolutely crazy. I mean, who's going to eat that much food? And then there's the prestige afternoon tea, which includes lobster, caviar, and champagne. Wow. So the afternoon tea itself that I've ordered is £90 per person, which I think is standard for this level of afternoon tea. The high tea, if you're going for that with the extra meal of duck, is £105. And if you go for prestige afternoon tea, including the lobster and caviar, £160. Now, in terms of the teas, because in the previous videos, people have said, you're not spending enough time on the tea, I want to see more about the tea. There are 22 different types of tea here. So we've got the menu, which you can see there's lots of different options. Now, interestingly, they've got black tea, there's about 10 or 12 black teas. Green tea, there's a couple of green teas. Oolong tea, there's 3 of those. White tea, which is a new one on me. There's a couple of white teas, and apparently a white tea is somewhere between a black and a floral tea. Then we've got fruity and floral, flowering tea, and herbal infusion. So a massive choice of teas. And you can have any of the teas, as many as you like. You can have tea or hot chocolate as well. Coffee or hot chocolate as well. So really good choice. So the initial impression of this place is amazing. It's fantastic. Let's just hope that the food lives up to these initial impressions. Okay, the sandwiches have now arrived. And the first thing to note is that it doesn't come on a tiered structure, because normally when you come to afternoon tea, you get a nice little tier with sandwiches at the bottom, scones, and then the cakes. This is coming individually. So we've got the sandwiches served first. Now, interestingly, that's similar to what we had at Harrods. If you've watched the Harrods video, you'll know that they served it separately as well. Also got the tea. So anybody who's excited about the tea's here, comes in a really nice service, actually, nice silver service, very posh. And the problem with teapots is that they always leak. And interestingly, when the guy was serving it, he served it off the table, so any drips went onto the floor. So I've got my tea here. Let's just try this. Now, I've got the signature tea, which is English afternoon tea, not English breakfast. And afternoon tea is a bit weaker because you don't want as much caffeine in the afternoon because it'll stop you going to sleep. This is a blend of Indian and Sri Lankan leaves, really tasty. Very smooth. Yeah, it was recommended not to have any milk with that, which I don't anyway. So here are the sandwiches. and it's an interesting selection. I'm going to read out what's on them because I can't remember because it was quite a lot of detail. So we'll just canter through them quickly. I'll go back to the menu. I can find the page where the afternoon tea's on. Okay, so we've got Coronation chicken first, which comes on a mole bran bread. So in terms of the size of it, this is about what I'd expect. It's good size, good few bites in that, but not too much. So I'll just taste this first. So Coronation chicken with some sultana raisins in there on a brown bread. Very nice. If you don't know what Coronation chicken is, it's basically like curried chicken, with a cold curried chicken with a bit of mayonnaise. That's really tasty. Bread's really nice. Quite weighty, quite a lot of eating in that. Now, next one is Saint Ewe egg with cress. So basically an egg and cress sandwich on white bread. Now, this is a classic for afternoon tea, so let's just have a taste of that. That's really nice. Quite well seasoned, good amount of cress in there, so it gives it a bit of crunch, because sometimes egg's just a bit too soft. That gives it a little bit of texture. Bread's quite nice. Again, a lot of eating in that. Next one is the British salt beef with pickle and mustard mayonnaise on granary bread. Feels nice, feels good. Oh, that's really nice. That's my favourite so far. Beef's got a good taste to it. And the mustard, just a very hint of mustard, not too hot, not too spicy. That's definitely my favourite. Now, onto the classic cucumber sandwich. This is what you want from any afternoon tea. If you're going anywhere, make sure they've got a cucumber sandwich. So this is, let me read the excerpt. Cucumber sandwich with mint ricotta on spinach bread. I don't see spinach bread very often. That's nice. That's a good twist. Normally a cucumber sandwich is just cucumber, but that's got the cheese in there, just lifts it a little bit. Oh, that's nice actually, got a nice cheesy aftertaste. Okay, onto these two little interesting pieces here. So the first of them is smoked salmon, lemon and dill cream with caviar on a brioche bun. So delicious. Just what you'd expect from salmon, brioche, slightly fishy taste, very nice. And then the last one with here, which is this little tart, is an organic baked butternut squash with caramelised figs, savoury tartlet. Now there's the savoury fig on the top. This looks really nice. That's good, like that. So that's a selection of sandwiches. You can get a refill if you want it, if you want to have more again, so you can eat them all and then get it all reloaded. Probably won't do that, but I'm going to eat the rest of these and the cameraman can have theirs, and I'll see you when the scones arrive, which is always the most exciting part of any afternoon tea. Okay, the scones and the cakes have now arrived. And you can see that we've got the tier is back. So we've got the presentation that everybody expects when you come to afternoon tea. Now, I'm going to talk about the cakes in a moment because I want to get into the scones, as these have just come from the bakery and they are still warm. So we've got two different types of scone, standard scone and a fruit scone, always my favourite. Now, I asked the waitress the best way to eat these, and the way the royal family eat them is to just break them. So they don't use the knife to get a nice clean cut, they're just breaking them. Now, let's see whether or not this breaks. It has got a bit of a crack here. There we go. I am now part of the royal family. Okay, so let's start with the plain scone. Now, I've got three different types of condiment here. I've got the clotted cream, standard. Got strawberry jam, and then some lemon curd. So lemon curds, very interesting. And what I was told is that it's best to have the jam with the plain scone and the lemon curd with the raisin scone, because the raisin scone's a bit sweeter and the lemon curd is sort of slightly less sweet, a bit sour, got a bit of an edge to it. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, two different ways of doing it. You've got the Cornish way, which is putting the cream on first. I think that's the right way around. So put the cream on first. This cream's good. It's nice and spreadable like that. That's really good consistency. Hate it when it's too hard. And sorry, I meant to use the spoons for this. Knock the cream over. And then the jam second. So I'll put some of that jam on there. Now, what I'm told as well here is that whatever you put on the top is the lasting taste. So if you put the jam on second like this, then it'll be more fruity when the aftertaste in your mouth. That's right, it does taste more fruity than creamy. Wow, that is a really good scone, really good. I like it. It's soft, but it's strong enough to hold all of the jam and cream. There's no issues with it breaking, crumbling apart. Really light, still a little bit warm, but it's not melting the cream. That's exquisite, really good. Really like that. That was a good tip. So let's see if I can break this one. Oh, there I am, Prince Joe. Right, got the fruit scone. Let's go with I'm going to do it the other way round this time, but I'm going to go with the lemon curd. So I'm going to do it with the Devon way. So I'll put the lemon curd on first. Just put that on my plate. Okay, this lemon curd is it's not like any lemon curd that I've ever bought before. Normally if you buy it from the supermarket, it's very yellow and it's more like jam. This is definitely more like cream, really nice. Quite excited to see what that's like. So it's sort of a bit weird because it feels like I'm putting cream on cream here. Well, obviously I'm not. I'm putting cream on. No, I can't get it off. I'll just put it on right. There we go. There we go. So lemon curd with a good amount of cream on there. Somebody sent me a message recently saying you're not having enough cream on your scones. There's plenty. Interesting. So that lemon curd is not like lemon curd I've had before. Usually it's got a very powerful lemon flavour because it's like jam. It's packed full of that. This is a bit more subtle, a bit more like butter with lemon curd in it. Not quite sure it goes as well with the cream because the cream and the jam's a really good sort of combination because we've got soft, cold, creamy cream and then you've got the sort of really fruity jam. This is a bit sort of cream on cream, not quite as nice. The scone's excellent, really good, and you know, I'm just being picky to say the lemon curd isn't really my thing. I prefer the jam. So overall, though, these scones are fantastic, brilliant. Really like these condiments. It's presented fantastically well. So I have to say the Savoy is really delivering here in terms of this afternoon tea. So I'll see you in a moment for the cakes. Now, before we get into the cakes, it's the cameraman's birthday today, and the Savoy have provided this really nice happy birthday plate. You want to zoom in on that, cameraman, on your birthday? And a lovely bit of cake with a bit of ganache and a candle. So that's all very nice. And also, they gave this rather nice little presentation of like a happy birthday welcome. So that's very nice. So if it's a special occasion that you're coming here for, definitely tell them when you book online. Put it into the comments box, say it's a special occasion, and I'm sure they will do something similar for you. But happy birthday. I'll see you for the cakes. It's now time for the main event, the cakes, which are fantastically presented, I have to say. I'll just take this off here. Have a look at that. Zoom in on that, cameraman. Look at those cakes. They are a work of art. Every one of them individually looks fantastic. So let me just take this plate here. I'll have this. Now, I've got the menu because there is no way on earth I can remember what they said to me about what these cakes are. So I'm going to go through them. We've got a mandarin and citrus, which is this one. So you're going to zoom in on that if you can, cameraman, a little bit. There you go. It's a mandarin and citrus. It's a citrus mousse, vanilla sponge, and mandarin gel on the top. We've then got this one, which is chocolate and hazelnut. So it's a chocolate cake with peppermint, hazelnuts, caramel, and chocolate ganache. Apple and custard, which is Bramley apple compote. Vanilla creme brulee on shortbread. And then finally, we've got Blue Lady Earl Grey and Blackberry, which is Earl Grey tea cake, Blackberry Chantilly, and Blackberry and Blueberry compote. So, all sounds amazing. Now, I did ask how to eat these, whether you pick them up or use your fork, and I was told that for something like this one, it's better to pick it up, because obviously if you use your fork on that, it's just going to collapse. That looks quite big, actually. I'll do that one in a minute. I think I might get into a bit of trouble on that one. This one, I was told to use my fork for, because it's got biscuit and mousse. So let's see if I can break this open. Okay, so here it is. Looks pretty good. Very delicate flavours, really delicate. So although it's a mandarin, it doesn't really taste very orangey. There's a bit of an aftertaste after it, but Really nice, just like a very tasty cake. I'll save that chocolate one for the end because chocolate's quite a powerful taste and probably will overpower all the rest of it. I'll go for this one, which is the Earl Grey and blueberry one. Again, I'm just going to bite this. Not my favourite sort of cake. Bit stodgy, bit cakey. The blueberry's okay, but it's a blueberry. Earl Grey doesn't really taste of anything. Not my favourite cake. I mean, it looks good. It's been nicely made, but not my favourite, not my preference. Go for this apple little creme brulee. So it's got a little apple slice. Let's put that back on. It's quite interesting. The apple compote on the top, very, very light and thin and sort of watery. And you've got a bit of custard underneath and the biscuit. I mean, it's okay. It's not the best cake, but it's quite nice. Now let's try this chocolate ganache cake, which looks quite nice. In the previous video, somebody thought I was using the tablecloth to wipe my mouth. It's actually a napkin, so apologies if you thought I was using the tablecloth. I'm not that bad. A chocolate cake, that's pretty nice as well. Nice. I mean, all four of these desserts, really nice, well made, well presented. Not the best cakes I've ever had. They're all right. Anyway, I'm going to finish the rest of these. Oh, before I go, I just wanted to tell you a quick story about the Savoy because this hotel was opened in 1889. It's one of the oldest hotels in London. And when it first opened, there wasn't any electricity in London. But the Savoy Hotel had its own power. So it had its own generator. It was one of the first hotels in London that had electricity and lighting, and more importantly, electric lifts. And a lot of the people who came to stay here were terrified of using the lifts because they'd never seen it before. It was like a new invention. And they had to be basically coaxed into the lifts by the staff to show them that they actually were safe and you weren't going to get killed. So quite interesting. This afternoon tea was served from the day that this hotel opened. So from 1889 onwards, we've had consistent afternoon teas here. The afternoon tea changes 4 times a year. There's 4 seasons. So if you come, it'll be different if it's more than 3 months since you were here last time. And they also have special ones at Christmas and on Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. So they're all the dates for your diary if you want to come and do this afternoon tea. So I'm now going to finish the rest of these cakes. I'll see you at the end for the wrap up and the bill. So here we are at the end of the meal, and the doggy bags here are pretty impressive. So this is the actual bag, and then inside you get a little box. So got some scones and some cakes to take home. So I think that's one of the tips. If you're ever coming to a place like this, ask for the refill because they will refill the scones and some of the cakes. They didn't give us all of the cakes, which is fine. And the sandwiches as well. Not taking the sandwiches home, just the cakes and the scones. But nice little way of just having something to go home and give it out to people. So what was my overall assessment of the afternoon tea here at the Savoy? Well, this place actually, I was just talking to before getting to that, the waitress, just talking to, this room, where the gallery, which is where the afternoon tea is served, and it has been served for the last 135 years, was refurbed last year. So it was closed for 3 months and they refurbed it. They changed where the live pianist was located. He was in a cage before, he's now been moved. And they put more tables in here and just made it a bit more modern, but it's still fundamentally the same as it was 135 years ago. And actually, there was a major refurb of the Savoy between 2007 and 2010. It was closed for 3 years, where it was fully refurbed and fully modernised. So anyway, a bit of history for you there. So what was the afternoon tea like? Well, to start with, we had the sandwiches, which were pretty good. We had a good selection, 5 different types of sandwich, pretty sizable, really well filled, delicious, good variety. We had the cucumber in there, the egg and cress, chicken, coronation chicken, the ham one, and then we had a couple of little small things like the brioche and the little tart that we had with the butternut in there. Overall, I'd say the sandwiches were really good, right up there. Presentation-wise, they just came on a plate, didn't come in a tier. We then had the scones. Now, the scones, which is the hero of the afternoon tea, they're some of the best scones I've ever had. They were really good. They were warm, just about the right size, not too big. Sometimes they can be a bit too massive. Broke nice and easily. The jam and cream, fantastic. Wasn't convinced about the lemon curd. It was a little bit creamy for me, a bit too much like the cream. So I wouldn't have the lemon curd again, definitely have the jam and cream again. And then we had the cakes, the good selection of cakes. Presentation-wise, they looked brilliant, they looked fantastic. Taste-wise, not the best, not my favourite cakes. I think they were okay, just okay. So overall, pretty good. Now, what about the bill? So here is the bill. You get a nice little leather pouch, and it's a nice posh pen. So the bill, it's the price of the afternoon tea here. Now, there were no drinks included. This is tap water, so I'm not paying for water. If you come and you order mineral water or just ask for water, you'll get a bottle of mineral water. That's going to cost you £10 plus. Get the tap water, it's just the same, and it doesn't cost anything. And with the teas, didn't have any alcohol, didn't have any extras. So the afternoon tea is £90 each, so that's £180 for the two of us. And there was then a service charge of 15%, which was £27. So in total, £207. So not cheap, quite expensive, but it is a first-class experience. This is an amazing hotel. It's an amazing restaurant. It looks old but new at the same time. So they've got that nice combination where you can see the history and feel the past, but it's modern and up to date. So I think they've done a really good job on that. So it's a great place to come to. Really nice atmosphere in here. Pianist was on earlier. That was quite nice as well. Overall, the food was good, but not the best afternoon tea that I've ever had. So in terms of my score out of 10, I'm going to give the Savoy an 8.5, which is a very good score. Not as good as some of the other ones, but I think they edged it in terms of the food. So my basic feedback for the Savoy is everything's right. You just need to sharpen up a little bit on the desserts. I think those cakes are the one thing that sort of lets this afternoon tea down just a little bit, but I'd still recommend coming here. It's still a fantastic experience, but that's my score for today. So if you've liked seeing the Savoy and hearing a little bit about the history and what's been going on here for the last 130 odd years, then please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'll see you again on the next meal.